If you have anything that's written, he's not allowed to. That's, once it's paid for, it's the property of the studio and not his, and he can't show it around. So it kind of works like that. I've gotten vague ideas of stories that weren't done that I would have loved to have been done, but they never will be.
Yeah, that's a little bit of how I feel about what might be to come with this. But yeah. Well, the first film was written by Don and revised by two other people, and worked together, I guess, at some level to make that one. And then Don has pretty much taken over all the writing from that. But yeah, the studios have a lot of control of everything. They're not writing the words on the page, but there is, always a guy who is the whatever creative executive of planning of whatever for this project, and he gets paid to have an opinion on your script. That's his job, so they're going to try to make changes, Yeah.
Thank you. What are some of the stories they want to use? Can you share them?
No. I mean, I really can't.
No, I believe you.
So you talked a bit about how you feel the genre has changed, and maybe political machinations have caused the studios to pull some punches. Is that something that you think is really widespread in our current political climate? Or is it something you've only seen very rare?
I think that's.
I think that was rare.
I think that it depends what's going on in the world. But if someone has an opportunity to be offended, like especially when something like in that particular case, when something is very big news that relates to what could be happening at any level, they'll put their hands in. But luckily most people still get to get their ideas out the way that they are. But there are times when that'll happen for sure.
Look, there were a couple of things in that in Curse that I found offensive. I mean, and certainly my girlfriend does, stabbing her in the belly, and killing the kid, which didn't happen. And I said, when I got the script and I read it, that's the first thing I said, I think this is a little, don't you think people are going to find this? And he said, no. I mean, he said yes and no. And then he gave me a very good reason why I think it would be, like it was a very good thing to do. And this is, genre is horror. And people know what they're getting into when they go and see it. And there's no way you can go to a horror film and not see something that's extremely misogynist. It's just somehow built into the genre. And what's the point? I mean, and it's not safe either. As far as viewing goes. But I think there's an audience and people like it, and it should be done.
Yeah, I personally don't see anything wrong with offending people. If it's not done just for the sake of offending them, if there's a purpose for why in any kind of creative format, whether it's lyrics or something, I mean, if it serves its purpose for your creative idea or plan for something, I don't care who gets offended by it, personally. Unfortunately, when a bunch of money's put into something, that they have to worry about what other people are going to think sometimes. But especially in a genre like horror, that we're given the opportunity to offend you if we want to. You know what you're coming to see, right?
We have time for one more.
Wasn't the point of the Chucky movies to show that nothing's safe, not even for children?
What?
Wasn't the point of the Chucky movies to show that nothing is safe, not even for children?
I wouldn't agree with that. I would say that that every child goes to sleep, and their dolls, as shadows start to cross, and things begin to take on sinister need our monsters. We have an instinct that we can be prey. It's inbred, it's in our DNA, and it plays out in our dreams. And that's why horror is so much fun, because we are deeply and naturally afraid of monsters who are going to come and eat us, with which you cannot negotiate. And that's what a horror film is. And I think that Chucky is a really good horror icon because he's a doll. And we have all been terrified of our dolls. Does that make sense?
Yes.
On that.
The last thing that we have for you is, so your laugh is very distinct, Brad. Is there any way?
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Vincent and Brad Dourif.
I can't believe you did it. So readily. That was good. Did you film that? Maybe.
I got part of it.
Maybe. I saw her with her phone.